Maybe you've been afraid that you're not strong enough to stand back up after every setback. Maybe the skeptical looks from others have weighed you down, threatening to drown out all your efforts. How many times have you wished for just a bit more willpower, a little more resilience, so you could overcome it all? But then, negative emotions, trivial thoughts and fleeting distractions sweep you away once again. Don't be fooled into thinking that true strength comes from luck or innate talent. Only courage, self-mastery, and unwavering determination can lay the foundation for a solid life. While most people choose to compromise with circumstances and shy away from challenges, there are still those who decide to keep moving forward, even when the path requires discipline and iron will. And today, I want to share with you the 12 keys of Stoic philosophy that will help you elevate yourself, master your thoughts, control your emotions, and quietly outpace everyone else. Stay with me until the end, because each principle has the power to transform your entire life. And if you truly want to change, comment right now. I will make progress every day. Your transformation starts at this very moment. Number 1. Don't talk about others. You're living in a relentlessly competitive society where everyone craves to stand out, to be recognized. Every word, every action is easily scrutinized and judged. Sometimes, even a single rumor can change the way others perceive you. Have you ever wondered why so many people get caught up in the cycle of gossip and criticism, yet deep down still feel like they're falling behind? From office meeting rooms to social media flooded with images of others' success, everywhere you go, you hear whispers, stories about colleagues, friends, acquaintances, even celebrities you've never met. The pressure to get ahead, to prove you're better, can subconsciously drive us to put others down just to feel more significant, or at least to feel less insignificant in a brutally competitive world. But have you realized that every minute you spend judging or speaking ill of someone else is a minute you lose the power to take charge of your own life? The energy that should be invested in learning, developing new skills, or cultivating inner peace gets wasted on negative emotions, envy, anger, or even the fleeting satisfaction of seeing someone else struggle. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. Each day you wake up is a privilege, not to judge others, but to live fully, to enjoy, and to grow yourself." That quote is a reminder that your life energy is limited, so why squander it on trivial and petty things? Seneca also warned that the more you get involved in other people's business, the more precious time you waste that should be used to improve yourself. In a world where academic and professional achievements are constantly compared, where social media bombards you with other people's highlights, the pressure to stand out and the fear of missing out, FOMO, can easily trap you in a cycle of gossip, criticism, or at the very least, silent judgment. But the moment you choose silence, the moment you step back from that race of words, you begin to create space for personal growth, for reflection, and for true inner freedom. Marcus Aurelius and Seneca constantly remind us that the path to true strength is not about outdoing the world, but about continuously forging yourself, becoming more disciplined each day, more patient in the face of challenges, and more forgiving of others' mistakes. When you refuse to judge, You are choosing to reclaim control over your own life. You gain more time, more space to reflect, to build new skills, and above all, to protect your precious peace in a world full of turbulence. Remember, only when you truly focus on bettering yourself do you step out from the crowd, leaving your own mark without ever needing to tear anyone down. The greatest difference between successful, resilient people and the majority is that they refuse to let others' opinions and stories dictate their emotions, energy, or goals. If you want to surpass everyone else, start by refusing to talk about others and invest all your resources into building a better version of yourself day by day. Number 2, don't reveal your secrets. Are you nurturing a business idea, a grand ambition, or a plan to change your life? But with just one impulsive moment of sharing it with someone else, you may unintentionally open the door to a flood of conflicting opinions, skepticism, and even judgments that can shake your resolve. At leading tech companies like Google and Amazon, employees understand one crucial truth. If a unique idea isn't kept confidential, it's easily exposed to competition, copied or destroyed by just a few careless remarks. Not everyone wants to see you succeed. Sometimes being too honest only brings about unexpected obstacles. Seneca once reminded us, if you want to keep a secret, never share it. This means that if you truly want to protect something precious, sometimes you need to be cautious, learning to keep silent, even refraining from saying it out loud to yourself when it isn't necessary. This kind of discretion isn't weakness or a fear of sharing. It's the foundation of self-mastery, shielding your goals from negative outside influences. Seneca's words are a powerful reminder. Some values only grow in silence and perseverance, just as a seed can only sprout by lying quietly underground, safe from storms and prying eyes. When you keep your goals to yourself, you preserve the integrity of your strategy, protecting it from being poisoned by doubt or unnecessary competition. This is especially true in the era of social media, where 88% of young Americans feel pressured to present themselves, to keep up with everyone else. That's why so many successful people choose to work quietly behind the scenes, letting their results speak for themselves. Before every major project, Elon Musk always keeps his next steps a secret, so that when he finally reveals them, they make a real impact and leave a unique mark. Discretion is not just a protective shield for your plans, it also creates an irresistible intrigue. People become curious about what you're doing, and sometimes this very silence gives you more control over the situation. You have the freedom to experiment, make mistakes, and adjust without the fear of criticism or losing confidence in yourself if you fail. True self-mastery, courage, and inner strength grow most powerfully in silence, when you channel your energy into action instead of words. And remember, when you master your own secrets, you also take charge of your destiny and personal growth. That's why Stoic philosophy considers discretion a form of power. It allows you to be confident, proactive, and resolute as you move forward, undistracted by outside influences. But if keeping secrets protects your inner strength, does talking too much about your struggles make you look weak in others' eyes? Don't miss the next key insight, where I'll reveal why staying silent in the face of adversity is the ultimate weapon that truly helps you rise above it all. Number 3, Don't talk about your challenges. We live in a world where the spirit of competition seeps into every breath we take, where people often mistake sharing to vent for true strength. Each individual constantly has to prove themselves. Expectations and pressure can become so overwhelming that even a minor failure might make you feel like you've fallen behind everyone else. In many schools, students are swept into the race for scholarships, achievements, and grades from as early as elementary school. Adults, meanwhile, face relentless judgment at work and on social media, where the fear of falling behind is laid bare more than ever. Against that backdrop, keeping your challenges to yourself, not complaining, not seeking fleeting sympathy, becomes a core principle that helps you rise above the crowd. The more you talk about your difficulties, the more vulnerable you become. When you let others in on your problems and stumbles, you inadvertently open the door to judgment, pity, and even doubt about your true abilities. Not everyone is compassionate enough to understand, and our society only proves this more clearly. One moment of weakness can be used as a weapon against you, whether in school, at work, or even on your own social media. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." His words remind us not to waste time explaining or justifying our difficulties. Act and let your results speak for themselves. If Jeff Bezos had spent his time talking about every failure or the pressure of starting Amazon, he might not have had enough energy or focus to see it through. It is precisely that silence, the commitment to action, that allowed him and many others who have set themselves apart to achieve extraordinary success. Furthermore, keeping your struggles private is a way to protect your autonomy and maintain a clear mind amid constant change. People often value personal freedom and want to take control of their lives. But paradoxically, the more you share about your challenges, the more you risk being swayed by outside opinions, comments, and expectations. Only by staying calm in the face of adversity can you observe problems objectively, develop the right strategies, and avoid falling into herd mentality or the urge for instant reassurance. Staying silent about your struggles is not a sign of weakness, but the strength of someone who can control themselves. In a world where everyone is quick to share their pain for sympathy on social media, the person who keeps their challenges to themselves, focuses on solutions and results, is the one who truly retains control over their destiny. That's why, in a society that always encourages openness, Stoicism continues to help people not just survive, but break through and surpass others thanks to their calm, self-mastery, and inner strength. Number 4, don't talk about the good things you've done. Peter used to be the kind of person who was always excited to share the good deeds he had done. Once, on his way home from work, he saw an elderly man stranded with a broken-down vehicle in the pouring rain. Without hesitation, Peter stopped, helped the old man fix his bike, and even drove him home to ensure he was safe. The moment Peter got back home, he snapped a photo of his rain-soaked jacket, posted it on social media along with the story, and quickly racked up hundreds of likes and compliments from friends and colleagues. At first, Peter felt proud, thinking he was spreading positive energy and inspiring his community. But over time, he began paying more and more attention to the number of comments, the praise, and the attention he received from others. On another occasion, after helping a lost child find their way home, Peter shared the story online once again, But this time, it didn't attract much attention. Suddenly, he felt disappointed, even doubtful of himself. Was he truly helping others out of genuine kindness, or simply craving recognition and applause? Peter's story highlights a hard truth. When good deeds are brought into the spotlight, the original motive can easily get derailed. Stoicism reminds us, good actions only have true value when they come from sincerity, from an inner sense of ethics, not from the desire for praise. Publicizing what we do, whether intentionally or not, can easily turn a good act into a means of self-affirmation, feeding our ego, and sometimes even creating distance between us and others. Showing off can spark comparison, jealousy, or doubt about our motives. Indeed, one of the fundamental principles of Stoicism is that right action must come from intrinsic values, not from the desire for compliments or recognition. When we publicize our good deeds, the original meaning of those actions can be easily distorted. A good deed turns into a tool for self-satisfaction, for glory, or for validating our self-worth. Sometimes that display not only undermines the true value of doing good, but also plants seeds of comparison, jealousy, or suspicion in others' hearts. So do what's right for its own sake. Don't let the gaze or judgment of society bend your original pure motivation. Good deeds, when they come from genuine compassion and a true sense of responsibility, bring a deeper peace and pride than any compliment ever could. When you keep your good deeds to yourself, you protect your own sincerity and shield yourself from the endless cycle of comparison and one-upmanship. You no longer worry about being acknowledged, nor do you chase fleeting applause. True strength lies in doing the right thing without anyone knowing, without needing anyone's approval. That's how you build self-mastery, staying immune to emotional swings and outside influences. Because when you do good simply because it's the right thing to do, you set yourself free from the pressure to prove anything to others. You focus on your inner growth and the real value of your actions, instead of trading them for superficial attention. When you choose to quietly sow seeds of kindness, you are the one who reaps peace, freedom, and an unshakable strength. Your good deeds will shine through your life without the need for display, and that is the most lasting mark you can leave on the world. Number 5. The silent dream that nourishes your aspirations. When a fragile seed is buried beneath the soil, it doesn't need anyone to witness its first push toward the surface. In the same way, our most silent aspirations need peace and darkness to grow strong and resilient. When ideas and goals are still forming, sharing them too soon exposes them to doubt, judgment, and even envy from others. That harshness can easily smother the flame of passion, make you question yourself, or even stop you before you've truly begun. Keeping your dreams to yourself is not about fear or lack of confidence. It's a deliberate strategy to protect your inner strength. Many people mistakenly believe that loudly declaring their goals will give them more motivation. In reality, early praise or fleeting attention can trick you into feeling as if you've already accomplished something. The brain quickly settles into a false sense of satisfaction, passion fades, and the real goal slips further out of reach. Give your dreams a private space, just like an artist quietly working on their masterpiece before revealing it to the world. That's when you have the freedom to make mistakes, to adjust, and to fully develop your ideas without fear of being scrutinized, judged, or discouraged. In silence, You'll hear your truest self, discover what you really want, and see what you need to do. This is how you build your own armor, so that one day, when your dream is strong enough, it can withstand any doubt or storm that comes its way. As Epictetus once emphasized, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Have the courage to be underestimated while you quietly pursue your own path. Look deeper. This quote is a reminder that truly great people don't rush to prove themselves. They know that early attention can become a burden and that real growth needs time to quietly take root. James Dyson spent 5 years in his workshop, testing more than 5,000 vacuum prototypes, all in complete silence. He didn't boast to anyone or seek recognition. During that time, many thought he was crazy and that his idea would never succeed. But Dyson kept going, and only when his first machine was launched, sparking a revolution, did the world finally recognize his talent and vision. Every doubt was silenced by his results, and that is the power of a quiet dream. So, what about you? Have you ever felt your passion fading because of someone's judgment? Share your story or your thoughts in the comments below. Don't hesitate. Your silent persistence today could be the very inspiration someone else needs tomorrow. Let your actions speak for you. Be the living proof of the strength of a quiet dream. Number 6. The power of strategic silence. Sometimes the greatest strength doesn't come from word. It's found in purposeful silence. In a noisy world where everyone is eager to be heard, the person who understands the value of strategic silence is the one who truly holds the advantage. Silence isn't just about holding your tongue. It's a conscious, alert state. When you choose to speak less and listen more, you unlock the ability to observe every movement around you with deeper clarity. That's when you truly hear what isn't being said. Notice the feelings hidden behind every glance, every furrowed brow, every small gesture. Silence serves as a shield, protecting your intentions, plans, and strategies from prying eyes and unnecessary opinions. When you resist the urge to immediately share your thoughts or plans, you keep your options open, free to adapt, change course, or simply avoid interference that might derail your goals. Instead of revealing your strategy through words, you let your results speak for themselves. In doing so, you avoid countless misunderstandings and unnecessary conflicts, the kind that often arise when people rush to express or debate issues that haven't fully matured. Picture a weekend evening with the entire family gathered around the dinner table. The conversation suddenly shifts to the children's academic achievements or the parents' investment plans. Everyone has their own opinions, and the atmosphere grows tense. Voices rise, arguments start, and blame is thrown around. In that moment, you choose to remain silent. You simply observe, listen carefully to every word, paying close attention to the expressions and feelings of each person. You don't rush to speak or react to criticism. Instead, you wait until things have calmed down before sharing your thoughts genuinely and concisely. As a result, you not only avoid unnecessary conflict, but also earn the respect of your family for your calmness and maturity. Timely silence allows you to stay grounded and build deeper connections with those you love. Practicing strategic silence isn't about avoiding communication. It's about taking control of the situation and holding yourself back to give the most thoughtful response. When you listen intently and observe actively, you pick up on the small details others often miss, opportunities, risks, and hidden motives in every interaction. This skill will help you act with precision, solve problems effectively, and become the master of your own game. The power of strategic silence lies in this. When you no longer need to show off, you become truly unshakable. Your results will be the clearest evidence of who you are. As the Stoic philosophers emphasized, preserving your own silence is also a way to protect your inner peace amidst all the chaos outside. If you've made it this far, I want to sincerely thank you. We've covered half of our journey with the 6 most powerful keys of Stoicism. But the road ahead holds even more valuable lessons, especially as we dive into the next key that will help you truly stand out. Stay tuned until the end of the video. Leave a like and subscribe, because your journey to rise above the crowd is just beginning. Number 7. Don't talk about your achievements. People are easily swept up in the whirlwind of praise, where success is measured by compliments, social media likes, or the admiring looks of those around them. But for those who practice Stoic philosophy, true achievement isn't something to be displayed. It is quietly forged through perseverance and every effort to surpass one's own limits. There's no need to speak about what you've accomplished, because the value of success doesn't lie in applause, but in the silent process of striving and growing within. Picture the image of an artisan who spends years meticulously carving every detail of their work, not for praise, but to reach the standard of perfection they set for themselves. That is silent pride. That is motivation that comes from within, where every small step forward is enough to strengthen self-confidence. Consider the story of Jiro Ono, the renowned chef behind the humble sushi restaurant Sukiyabashi Jiro in Tokyo. For decades, he devoted his life to perfecting every slice of fish, every grain of rice, with no concern for fame or the spotlight. Only when the documentary Jiro Dreams of Sushi was released did the world learn of his relentless journey. But for Jiro, the greatest pride was never the 3 Michelin stars or public praise. It was the sense that he had surpassed his own limits, day after day, dish after dish. That is the quiet pride, the inner drive, where each small step forward gave him a steady sense of growth within his soul. Boasting about achievements doesn't just plant seeds of envy, resentment, or make others feel distant. It also traps us in the empty cycle of endlessly seeking external validation. Keeping achievements to yourself is not false modesty, but a way to protect your balance and keep your soul steady amidst the storms of public opinion. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Success, to those who follow Stoicism, is the ongoing journey of self-improvement and enjoying the inner rewards, a sense of calm, satisfaction, and relentless progress. Only when you stop searching for approval out there are you truly free to enjoy the real value your achievements bring. And then, that very silence becomes the clearest and most convincing proof of your success, without the need for any boasting at all. Number 8. The art of listening in silence. Sometimes the greatest strength does not lie in words, but in the silence of someone who knows how to listen. The art of silent listening is not just about sitting quietly and hearing a story. It is about opening your heart, focusing all your attention, not interrupting, not rushing to judge, and not being quick to respond. You give the other person a safe space to express themselves, allowing them to feel that their opinions and emotions are truly valued. When you truly listen, you will notice things that haste and impatience often overlook. It could be a fleeting look, a hesitant pause, a gentle sentence carrying hidden burdens. Only when you set aside the urge to respond immediately do you begin to see the deeper layers of emotion, the silent motivations behind the words. It is in that silence that genuine understanding grows, and this is the solid foundation for building trust, respect, and a real connection between people. Mark, a young manager, once believed that leadership meant speaking a lot and giving many instructions. But after a tense conflict within his team, he decided to try a new approach, staying silent, letting each member share their feelings without being interrupted or criticized. The result was that surprising misunderstandings were resolved, the work environment became more open, and team members felt understood, trusted, and much more cooperative. It was this active listening that helped Mark rebuild team spirit, bringing everyone together toward a common goal. Silent listening is also the key to resolving conflict. When the other person feels truly heard, anger subsides, defensive walls gradually fall, and empathy takes their place. That is why good listeners tend to resolve disputes more effectively, building an environment of trust and long-term development. By now you have felt the quiet yet steady power of silent listening, a seemingly small principle that makes a tremendous difference. But if you want to truly break through, you need one more thing: long-term vision. Let's explore why having foresight and a long-term strategy is the essential foundation for standing out from the crowd. Number 9. Long-term vision. Sustainable success has never belonged to those who only live for today. In a world that is constantly rushing, where everyone is swept up in instant praise, fleeting glory, and the fear of being left behind, it is a long-term vision that forms the foundation for true growth. Those who think ahead are not dazzled by quick flashes of fame. They understand that every short-lived triumph fades quickly, while real value only blossoms when we have the patience to sow the seeds and wait for the harvest. Stoic philosophy reminds us that instead of chasing easy achievements, we should focus on building a solid foundation for the future. Only when our minds are set on long-term goals do our choices and actions gain real depth and meaning. In reality, many people have proven the power of long-term vision through their own lives. Take Warren Buffett, for example, a symbol of perseverance, someone who has remained committed to long-term investing strategies almost his entire life. When the market is chaotic and millions scramble after short-term trends, Buffett stays true to his philosophy. Anyone can get rich slowly, but no one gets rich quickly and stays rich for long. The greatest achievement isn't wealth itself, but the ability to control oneself in the face of immediate temptations, to invest in the future even if it takes 10 or 20 years to see the results. Holding on to long-term vision is how we overcome momentary temptations, stay proactive in the face of adversity, and keep moving forward even when life is tough. Those who set long-term goals in their minds pass through storms with unshakable confidence, because they know that every great achievement is built on days of patience, persistence, and an unwavering will. That vision is what will guide you, helping you move farther, move stronger, and in the end, quietly surpass them all. Number 10. The refuge of solitude. There are moments in life when we must step back, not out of weakness, but to rediscover our own inner voice. In the midst of life's relentless noise, solitude, when consciously chosen, is not an emptiness, but a refuge. It is the place where we can quietly remove the social masks, stop pretending to be strong, and let go of the need to constantly prove ourselves to the world. Only in that silence can we truly and honestly reflect on ourselves at the deepest level. Time spent alone is not an act of escape, but one of courage. When no one else is around to define who we are, only then can we truly ask ourselves, what do I actually want? Am I living according to my own ideals, or simply reacting to the expectations of others? Isolation from the world's chaos helps us see clearly the motivations behind each action, each decision, and even those things we once believed to be unchangeable. A long enough pause also holds the power to calm emotional turmoil. It is like a place of recovery, a sanctuary where the mind heals after being battered by life. There, we learn to breathe deeply, feel our own presence, and regain the energy we need to return to the world this time, stronger and more focused. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." This is the true value of solitude, a sanctuary for the spirit that no one can invade and no one else can create for you. But what happens after you've found that quiet, after you've listened to yourself? How do you ensure that your next move isn't driven by panic or impulse, but by wisdom and clear understanding? Look at Anna. She's just experienced a bitter failure at work. Amidst the pressure and emotional chaos, she stands at a crossroads. Should she react hastily to regain her footing, or stay calm and choose a wiser path? The answer for Anna lies in the next key. Number 11. Wisdom in action. There is no need to rush into action. In a world that increasingly values speed and instant reactions, the wise do not choose to race with the crowd. Instead, they choose to pause. They observe, analyze, and only move forward when their minds are clear. Those who live by the Stoic philosophy understand well. Emotions are a double-edged sword. They can push us forward, but can just as easily cause us to stumble, if not properly managed. Anger can make us say things we regret. Anxiety can hold us back from opportunities. Excessive excitement can drive us to make blind decisions. These moments of impulsive emotion are exactly where most people fail. But those who act with wisdom are different. They learn to recognize which emotion is dominating them, and they do not let emotions override their reason. They do not simply react, they choose. Every action, no matter how small, is examined in the light of long-term goals and personal values. They know what is temporary and what is enduring. They ask themselves, will this action bring me closer to the person I want to become? When you act based on reason, you not only make better decisions, but you also live a life with less regret. You are no longer manipulated by the world around you. You control your mind, and from there, you control your life. That is true strength, not the burst of power that comes from a fleeting moment of excitement, but the steady power of intention, calm, and persistence. While many are swept away by the need to react quickly and chase instant results, those who act with wisdom move steadily towards their goals. They do not make noise, but they go far. They do not let emotions lead them astray, so they never lose their way. And in the end, they are the ones who break through, not because they try to stand out, but because they have truly mastered themselves. Number 12. Radical acceptance. There are moments in life when every effort you make seems pointless. You work hard, but your efforts are misjudged. You love wholeheartedly, but your affection isn't returned. You take every careful step, yet disaster still strikes. In those times, it's only natural to react with resistance, anger, confusion, or a sense of injustice. But the more we fight what we can't control, the deeper we sink into disappointment and lose control over ourselves. Stoic philosophy calls this a crossroads of reason, a place where you can choose, keep fighting against things beyond your reach, or learn to accept them completely to protect your inner peace. Radical acceptance doesn't mean giving up. It's a form of heightened awareness. It's when you draw a clear line between what you can control and what doesn't belong to you. In any situation, you can't control the actions or words of others, but you have full command over your own response, your calmness, your resolve, the way you move forward. A friend of mine was once let go after years of dedication just because of a change in upper management. He was furious at first, feeling betrayed, but instead of letting his anger consume him, he chose to step back for a few days, journal his thoughts, and redirect his life. He couldn't change the company's decision, but he could master his own attitude and response. 6 months later, he started his own business using the very skills that had been underestimated, and for the first time, he felt truly free, no longer afraid of losing a job or dependent on others' approval. When you practice radical acceptance, you stop wasting energy on things that aren't yours to carry. You free your mind from stress, pain, and anxiety. And in that silence, you give yourself the space to act more effectively, with greater clarity. It's not because the world is any less harsh, but because you've become stronger within it. These 12 Stoic keys aren't just ideas, they're tools that will shape you into someone resilient, unshakable, and unstoppable. Remember, the gap between mediocrity and true growth isn't talent or luck, it's consistent action. The question is, which key will you apply first? Let me know in the comments. I read them all, and your journey might just inspire someone else. If this video sparked something in you, don't stop here. In the next episode, we'll dive into more Stoic wisdom lessons that can truly reshape the way you think, act, and live. So hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and stay with us on this path of strength and clarity. Above all, keep training your mind. Your potential is far greater than you realize, and with discipline and direction, you'll not only rise, you'll lead. See you in the next video. Keep growing, keep conquering your mind.